Good morning class, and welcome to our today's lesson on Visual Basic Programming. Today I want us to look at event-driven programming. And my question is, what is event-driven programming? Can someone give us an answer? Alright, let us start by defining what is Visual Basic. Visual Basic is an object-oriented programming development system for creating applications that run under any of the Microsoft Windows environment. It has the following two major components. One, it has an extensive collection of pre-written tools called controls. These controls are accessible as icons within a graphical programming environment for creating customized Windows components. Which are these components? They are components such as menus, dialog boxes, text boxes, slide bars, and many more. Number two, it has a complete set of program commands which are derived from Microsoft's implementation of the classical basic programming language. The command set includes features that embrace contemporary programming languages, and therefore, class, you can understand that visual programming it has two components, just like we have listed. Let's move on to object-related concepts. Under this, we define some terms which are being used in a programming language under event programming language or development environment. And one, we start by forms. What is a form? In Visual Basic, a window is called a form. It includes bar at the top of the window, that is the title bar, which defines the title of your project, or rather your form. Number two, it has a status bar which tells the user or the programmer on which form that is active. Number three, it has a menu bar and many more. The user area, which is also called the client area, occupies the remaining space within the form. You understand that some applications are based upon one single form while others have two or many forms. We shall have a look at that later. Number two, on terminology, we have controls. These are icons within which the user interacts with. Controls commonly used are command buttons, option buttons, checkboxes, labels, text boxes, picture boxes, and menus. The user will typically activate a control by clicking on it to produce an event. We define terminology number two, which is an object. Forms and controls are referred to collectively as objects. Most objects are associated with events. Hence, objects may include their own unique event procedures. We shall look at these procedures later. They are also associated with their own properties and methods. Now let us look at what we refer to as properties. Properties, they generally define the appearance of an object behavior, the appearance. The choice of properties will depend on the type of the object that the user wants. Maybe you can define, for example, the name, the caption, the height, width, background color, location, and so on. What are methods? Methods in some objects, also including special program statements, they are called methods. These methods are also referred to as procedures or the instructions. A method brings about some predefined action affecting the associated objects. What triggers an action that will be that will affect a control that is associated with an object. As you can see, we have a form which has 3 controls. It has a text box and 2 command buttons. Now, let us look at the modes or in which VB6 opens in. Number 1, as you can see here, number 1, we have the design mode. We have the design mode, which is here, and number 2, we have the execution or code. Let's look at the code edit mode. Then number 3, we look at execution mode. The first window that is appearing here, this is the design mode. This is where you design your project form. After that, we move to code edit mode. Code edit mode is where you write instructions that are associated with your different controls. And number 3, we move to execution mode. This execution mode looks like the design mode, but now under execution mode, this is when, or it opens after you run your program. This is the execution mode that opens, or the window that opens when you run your project, which will be ready now for accepting user inputs or the data that will be supplied to it. Let's move on and look at the window of your projects. Number 1, we have the form design window. This is the form design window where you design your projects. Number 2, we have the title bar. This is where your title of your project will appear. We have number 3, the menu bar. This is the menu bar that gives you the menu. We have number 4, the toolbar, whereby it contains the tools of your project. And number 5, we have the project window. This is the project window that contains your project. We have number 6, the toolbox. The toolbox gives you the tools or the controls that the user uses to interact with or to design the project. Another one is the project container window. This is the white space. You can see this white space here. This is the project window, the project container window. This is where your project is contained. We have another one called immediate window. The immediate window. This is the immediate window. The immediate window will appear after you run your project. That is whereby the execution, the progress of your project execution, that is where it is displayed. We have now the properties window, whereby you define the appearance of your project controls. And the last one, last but not least, is the form layout window. The form layout window is after you